Hi folks. Well, I finally did it. I listened to what Ed had to say. Ed Kaczynski has his own channel, does a lot of fishing out of a kayak. Appreciate it, Ed. I'm gonna put your name at the end of this as a thank you. But when I got myself into the camera, right now, what you're looking at is my old camera that I've been filming all my walks with since November of 2013. Well, the LED portion, where I look at it, is really loose. It looks like it's getting ready to fall off. I've been in it, there's pins missing and screws missing and springs that are just shot. So I decided to get myself another one, but didn't want to pay the high prices. So I went to Cash Converters right over here in Kenhurst, Reading, Pennsylvania, and started looking around and happened to see a camera identical to mine. It's the F90 in the black. I believe they call this one the F80. But it's the identical camera to what I have. It's 52 zoom, and I'm going to film a little bit today and then show you the difference. And I'm going to turn it on right now so I can show you this camera as I'm filming. As you see, that one's already set up. It takes the same batteries, it takes the same SD card. Everything is identical. Now I'm going to turn that camera on and I'm going to show you the camera I'm using right now. Here is the silver camera, and I am filming my filming. So I'm going to spin this around. I'm going to show you that everything is identical on this one. The back, the sides, it's the silver model. This does spin the same way. As you can see, I'm filming. So actually I want to thank Ed for this. I am very happy with this camera. I should say that camera, the one that you're looking at right there. We're going to see how it comes out when I put my video on the computer. So now I'm going to turn this one off. And so you can see it turn off. There it goes. All right, this camera is now turned off and I am on my new camera. Okay, the second reason I wanted to make a video today was let's talk about tents. I have 3 tents. I'm happy with all 3 of them, but would like some input out there from you guys as to which one I should really take with me. Let's start with the last tent I used, the one you just saw on my Appalachian trail hike. It's a tiny little tent. Poles and everything are inside here. The size of this is 16 inches long. That's it. From there to my hand, 16 inches. It weighs 3 pounds 6 ounces. That includes the poles. That's it. The poles and the stakes are in here. Again, right around 15, 16 inches long. The tent itself is, like I said, a very small pup tent. When I was using my Army rucksack, this fit right in the side pocket. I was able to stuff it in there. Being that I've gone back to my Army digital rucksack with less weight, this might be a discussion as to being the best tent to take with me. The problem is I cannot sit up inside it. Even though the one end is, they say, 40 inches. 40 inches just isn't enough to sit up in and try to get dressed. Besides, you saw the way it tapered from the opening of the door right down to the back. The second tent is a 9x7. I hope it focuses. This is a 9x7 dome tent. Now, this is identical to the one that Jake used, a dome tent. This gets as high in the middle where I can actually sit and get dressed. A lot more comfortable. I can sleep two in this one. Where in the pup tent, that's really only made for one. I could possibly get two in, maybe me and my small grandson, but there is no way you can be comfortable. You've got to crawl into it to start with. This is 25 inches long, and it's 6 pounds 4 ounces. Now that's just about 3 pounds more than the pup tent, and that includes the poles. Again, that includes the poles. 25 inches long. Now, part of my problem there is the same problem that Jake had on the trail. My rucksack, let me show it to you. My rucksack is only 14 inches across from this side to the other side. Also, I tie my sleeping bag underneath the rucksack. It has the straps on it for tying it on. Sorry if this is jerking a little bit. It has the straps for tying it on. So I tie my sleeping bag, which I just purchased a dry bag for. This might not work real well because it's so slippery. I'm going to look for a compression bag that's also waterproof. But my sleeping bag is 2 pounds 1 ounce. It's 14 inches across. So it fits on the rucksack extremely well. That's the way I carried both times I was up on the trail. Let's go to the third tent. I was happy to get this tent from my next door neighbor. He was going to throw it out. I actually got two from him. I got two 9x7 tents, and I got this. It's a dome tent. It's 7x7, sleeps two, 48 inches in the middle, does have a rain fly. But here's part of my problem with this one. Unless I wanted to go out and buy that kit. Let me back up so you can see this. So I can buy that whole kit. The poles are over 25 inches long to make it a dome tent. Of course, it's the same as the 9x7, but they're only 24. This, as you can see, would cause me problems carrying it on my rucksack unless I stood it up, got a bag, stood it up on the side like my fishing rod. And we'll get to that story in a minute. I found a new one of them. But this bag, this tent, weighs 7 pounds 9 ounces with the poles. These are over 2 pounds themselves. They're about 2.5 pounds themselves. Heavy. I'm trying to get away from weight, give my shoulders a break. Using this tent, not so sure of just because of the weight. The poles in the 9x7 don't weigh 2 pounds, but they are again shorter, so that goes to figure. Now, my rucksack being 14 inches across, I'm not going to have 9 inches hanging out, 5 on each side. I'd be walking into trees, I'd be tearing my bag up. So, if I go by myself, I can see the pup tent. I might have to put up a tarp to stand under in case it rains. But right now, I think I'm going to try to find a compression bag for this tent. Now, the poles being 24 inches, I'm going to try to stand them up. Just like I said I would do with that one there. But the weight of that is so much more. With the 6 pounds that this weighs, I think, oh, this says 46 inches and up to the dome top. 2 inches, wow. This does come with a gear loft, all the meshes there. It does have a mud flat in the front, so I can kneel on it to get in, where the pup tent does not. I have to put a tarp down so I don't drag all the mud in. So far, I'm going to aim toward getting this one more compact, possibly taking it along. So we are talking another 3 pounds. I think I've gotten rid of 4.4 pounds because I am now only carrying one bladder at 2.5 liters of water. Prior to, I was carrying 2, which is almost a full gallon, 2.5 and a 1.5. I gave the 1.5 that you can put 2 liters in to my grandson for his rucksack that I gave him. And he'll have a little bit more water that he can use. And I won't have that extra 4 pounds there. So I'm actually only adding 2 pounds by putting that tent in and not taking the pup tent when I do go up for a very comfortable night on the Appalachian Trail. All right, there's where I need your help. How about if you would write in, tell me what you suggest. Don't forget, I'm going to try to compression that 9x7 down to a smaller size and try to carry it on the back of the rucksack on the MOLLE hookups and see how it works for me. Now, let me show you as soon as I find it. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Here's my next exciting adventure. Everybody saw me up on the App Trail at the lake of Camp Shikellamy, where we stopped for the night, fishing with this little ice fishing pole. It's one that I made, of course. I make fishing rods. Totally homemade. The reel is a tiny little offshoot from Japan. Don't even know if it has a name on it. It does not. But it came with my Penn reel that I broke. This whole thing together weighs about 7 ounces total. The whole rod, 7 ounces. Very easy to carry. As you saw, I stick it in my rucksack on the side, and it sticks up. Trees hit it, doesn't matter, it bends. But here's a good story I got for you. When I first started getting into fixing and making fishing rods, repairing them, I bought a Daiwa breakdown fishing rod. I fished with that rod for probably 12 years before I had to retie the eyes. I retied the eyes on it, I remade a handle, and I kept on fishing. Now that was a 3-piece breakdown rod. I was very happy with it. It was a 5.5 foot rod, and that's what I like fishing with, 5.5 foot. They're handy, they're easy to work with. They're only as tall as this, and I'm able to string the line through it much, much easier. When I went over to buy the camera you're watching right now at Cash Converters, one of our local pawn shops, I happened to walk in and saw this sitting there. The bag looked familiar, and I said a little prayer thinking things were in it. I was hoping they were. And I got the surprise of my life. A 5-piece breakdown spinning rod. Now this says it's 6.5 feet. So what I did was took the very end piece, the tiny one, put that aside, took the next piece and tied another eye on it to make this whole rod, I didn't show you the handle, to make this whole rod 5.5 foot. Now stand by for a second here. I'll put this thing together, show you how fast it is. It's very, very comfortable to put together. It goes together in seconds, and all you got to do is make sure you line up the eyes to the reel seat before you jam it together. The sizes are pretty explanatory. When you get down to this far, just make sure the eyes line up, jam it down, and on the last piece, which only makes it about 5.5 foot, well, it's a little bit more than 5.5, but there it is. I'm 5'10", and as you can see, the tip of the rod comes to my brim of my hat. There's the whole rod. It's now a long rod. It'll fit inside my rucksack, and my fishing reel from that one will, of course, go right on this one and lock itself in. It has a little spinner on it. I've got my 5.5 foot rod back. Breakdown, very, very happy with it. It's brand new. I got the whole thing at Cash Converters for $29. I was a happy camper. So this will be going inside my rucksack, broken down. The reel will be going inside my rucksack, and as you can see, the handle on this folds down to prevent it from breaking. All you have to do is take the adjustment screw, loosen it up, put the handle out, tighten it back down. Your reel is working again. I did have a fishing spot video on this a while ago on what reels to use with what rods, and I like the open face. The closed face are okay, but I like the open face rods. The strings don't tangle as much. They don't give you as much problem inside the bail. You can see your knots, you can get them out easier. But I am very, very happy with this. This one is designed by Daiwa. It's called the Wilderness. Let me turn this around so you can see this thing. It's called the Wilderness Rod. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not. There's the name, Wilderness Rod. It's a medium. It says light, but this is a medium strength fishing rod. The swivel of the rod when you bounce it back and forth is right about here. A light rod would be up here further with a lot of bend to it. That, I believe, is all in this part, which is very, very thin, as you can see. So it's very, very sensitive and very bendable. I like a medium rod. So this one is going to come in very, very nice. Again, it comes apart so easy. All you do is pull and twist a little, just a minor twist, all the way down, and it's apart. There's the whole rod. Now we're only talking about 15 inches, I think it is. 15 inches. This will fit standing up inside my rucksack. So I made it real lucky. Believe it or not, I got out of Cash Converters after buying the fishing rod, the new camera, and I bought myself a neck vibrator. After coming home for these long trips, I like to lean back on some heat and get the neck all, taking care of all those sore spots. So I got away from the Cash Converters place for $100. I thought it was a good buy. Want to report it to all you guys. Want to let you know how it's going. I'm looking forward to you writing back and tell me which tent you would suggest. Again, my thought was the red one, the medium size, the 6-pound tent with the poles, and I'm going to try to make it smaller to fit on the rucksack, maybe even in it. So let me know what you think. The 7x7, a little bit smaller but heavier. The 9x7, it is bigger, middleweight, and the pup tent, which is down there at 3.5 pounds. Give me your thoughts. Really be interested in hearing from you. Stay strong, patient, and trust your journey. You can do what I'm doing on video. It's easy. Thanks, everybody.